Hey, good morning, everybody. It's a nice, cool morning here in Oregon. Well, I've had a lot of people send me messages about my feeding program. Well, I like to change it. I change my feeding almost daily. They get something different, something new, something added, something blue. Actually, they do. They get blue potatoes. But this morning is kind of, let me show you here. This is kind of a slurry of potatoes. There's rice, eggs, and a little bit of bacon. It's kind of like an egg flour soup, and it will go over the top of their dog food. Now, I look at it as, I don't want to eat the same thing every day. I don't want my dogs eating the same dog food every single day. That's not what we'd want. So to keep them, excited about eating and stuff, I try to change it. And it really helps because they're excited. You can kind of hear them out there barking right now, waiting for breakfast. But what I've made here is our homegrown potatoes, like a handful of rice in there. I cooked it up kind of like an egg flour soup. So there's probably 16 eggs in there. And so I crack them up, mix them up really good, pour them in the soup while it's hot. It makes like an egg flour. Well, also what I've added is some bacon. Now, everybody loves bacon. But bacon, your dogs love bacon too, but it's not that good for them. You have to be very careful. So if you're feeding any type of bacon, make it a very small amount. You don't want large amounts. Dogs should not be eating, like ham and bacon and things like that very often because it's very high fat and very high salt. So if you're giving bacon strips, cut it back. A lot of people just look at their dog from the outside and go, oh, you look so healthy, you can have whatever you want. Be careful because you can cause some unfixable things. A lot of bacon with that high fat could cause, pancreas problems. So what I do is I buy it by the case. We buy a lot of meat like that by the case, stored in the freezer. This was cut up just the other day because I'm getting ready for winter. And it's very important when you have dogs that are kennel dogs to prepare them. A lot of people don't, and it's not good for them because I don't want my dogs getting cold. So I do everything possible to prepare them, but I also keep them warm in their kennels. So they have the best of both worlds there. But there's a very small amount of bacon. So my dogs, each dog will get about the amount of a tablespoon of bacon. It's got a high enough fat content, and that's what I'm working for, is to build that fat on them. So I take my time with it. I don't overdo it. We make this nice little soup. It goes over their dog food this morning. They will get a little bit of fat, not enough that's going to harm them, not enough that's going to cause any trouble, but enough that it's going to help put a little fat layer on them. Now, I've been doing this over the last several weeks, and it doesn't consist of ham or bacon all the time. I also do some other mixes. We have some organ meat and things like that. Now, you have to be very careful with organ meat, too. A lot of people love to feed liver, heart, things like that, and that's great. It's good for them, but on very little levels. I actually made a mistake years ago, lesson learned, never again. I used to feed a lot of organ meat with my dogs, and when Otts broke his leg, we couldn't figure out why. Why? He's a healthy dog. He looks beautiful. It was the first run of the day. I threw the ball. He took off running, and he made it down to the ball, went to stop, and blew his elbow out. Well, lucky for me, I live near a vet school, OSU vet school. We rushed him up there to get surgery and get it taken care of, see what we could do. Well, they couldn't figure it out either. So they did an entire analysis on his body. We went over every food I feed, everything, and it came down to the conclusion that because I was feeding too much organ meat, the phosphorus level in the meat is higher than the calcium level. And if you are higher, and you check your dog foods too, everything you purchase for your dog, if the phosphorus level is higher than your calcium level, don't feed it. Don't, and if you do, very moderate amounts. So I feed very little organ meat. I feed very little bacon, but I'll add little bits of it in when I'm trying to fatten dogs or prepare them for different seasons. And that's how I run my dogs. I run off the seasons. This summer, You know, they're having eggs every day. They're getting the proteins they need, but they're leaning down because they're having a blast out there playing. So we let them lean down in the summer, fatten them up in the winter. So that's what I'm doing right now. So let me show you how I do it. I'll switch hands here. So we get a nice scoop. That's 2 cups. And nice big scoop of potatoes. And then we get a lot of soup on top of it. So this is what basically, let me switch you around here. This is basically what my dogs get. That's a good meal. They love it. It's warm. So I warm their bellies in the morning. I warm their bellies in the evening. They go to sleep warm. They wake up warm. Their kennels are warm, clean. The environment has got everything for them to burrow in or to cuddle up inside their dog houses. They have roofs over their heads. They are sealed. No wind getting to them. It's a great place for them. They are healthier outside. They are happier outside. You can tell by their coats, the health of them. It makes a huge difference. So I know I'm going to have a lot of people probably beating on me here because you raise your dogs outside. You know, I've gotten it before. And you know what? You know what's neat about getting old? I don't care what you think. I know my dogs are happy. I know my dogs are healthy. I know them. I don't care what people think. I do everything to protect them. And this is the best part about getting old. I have the I don't give a crap attitude. So if you think my dogs are, you know, not being taken care of, you're more than happy to come by and see them because they are happy, healthy, warm. Last year we had snow. I got up in the middle of the night to go out and check on everybody, and nobody were in their kennels. Nobody was inside the building. Nobody were in their dog houses. They were curled up out in the snow. So again, that depends on your dogs, but I have check lines, cold weather dogs. I let them be dogs. I let them enjoy their life. This is what they love. So my dogs are never chilled. They're never cold. I mean, we're preparing puppies right now for life, and that's how we do it. So, hey, fix your dog some soup, add it to their food, rice, potatoes. You can, you know, add in anything for them. If you have any questions about if you find something you want to add in, like look up bacon, okay? It'll tell you right there, bacon's not good for dogs, but at moderate levels, it's good for them. It's okay. Same with potatoes. Oh, don't feed your dog potatoes. Well, I've been feeding my dogs potatoes for many years, but moderately. You know, they don't live on potatoes. But we do a lot of things. Rice, potatoes, broccoli, green beans, carrots. Depending on the seasons, we add in different things. So research it. Don't ever take somebody's word. You know, you don't have to listen to me. If you have a question about something, get on and Google it. All you do is look, is bacon good for dogs? Is bacon okay for dogs? Is potatoes okay for dogs? Can I add a soup to it? Can I, you know, feed them. Feed them. Everybody wants to treat them as humans, but we don't want to cook for them. We'll just feed them a bag of food. So add things in. They love it. They love the vegetables. Boil everything up. Boiled eggs every day. They love it. So I'm going to let you go because I'm going to get out and feed these guys because they're out there barking at me. So you guys have a good day and do some research. Feed your dogs well. Don't overdo it because you can overdo it really easy. Fat on a dog is not good. Nice little layer is what you want. I want to keep them warm, but I don't want fat dogs. I like my dogs lean, well-muscled. I like all the nutrients going to their bodies, not producing fat. But right now, it's fall. We're starting to get cold, and I'm starting to add that little fat layer because that's what makes them healthy during the winter. So you guys have a good day, and we'll talk to you soon.